30 seconds to battle. The battle begins. Victory! Victory!
Okay, so we are back again. Yeah, I think they remake the game because there was a crash and yeah, people can't reconnect into the game. But that's good, that's good. Everyone gets a do-over. So if you screwed up just now or you chose the wrong strategy or hero, here's a chance at redemption. Roughly I know the goal system, how it works, but I don't fully comprehend it, don't really fully understand it. So roughly the more you need to kill, the more goal you get. Sometimes when let's assuming that you lose multiple rounds and you don't actually kill enough heroes, then you get really little goal. So I think this is very apparent when, let's say, you are fighting against someone who has DC. Someone who has DC do not have any units on the field or have very little units on the field. Even when you win that round, you realize that you have less gold than usual. Yeah. And also you get certain amount of gold every round, and that can be increased by your gold per round talent as well. Can be increased by bounty hunters, track, alchemist, weaver's greed. Pirate hat stacks. Pirate hat works really well also. Yeah, this tournament is ongoing, but you can probably join the next tournament. My friend would does host regular tournaments. I think probably once every few months. So yeah, when there's a tournament, I would give you more information in my video as well. So you can keep a lookout for that. Alright, so in this game, the best tanks here will probably be Wraith King or Pangolier. Wraith King is really good. It's just a standard tank that is able to actually delay a lot of time. Just go for an Aghanim Refresher and on this. A Pango or Storm is actually very good as well, but that is more of a 1v1 kind of scenario because let's say the opponent are jumping you, right? You would want to go for Pango or a Storm in front, and then you delay your carries. So what this happens is that your Pango or Storm will actually jump all the way in front and bait out their spells, BKBs and refreshes. So by the time your carries are actually walking forward, you would actually be really safe because their BKBs have run out as well. Yeah, early game, partner is one of the best spellcasters early game. So you go for a partner early game, you can have a Wraith King in front. Go for Keeper of the Light. Keeper of the Light, Illuminate does a lot of damage, especially with your level 25 talent plus 180 Illuminate damage. So that's really good, and then you can probably look into seeing how you can combo Keeper of the Light with. And if there's no possible synergy with Keep Up the Light, okay, there is a Tiny here, so it's not that bad. You could go for Tiny and Keep Up the Light, which has really good synergy. Because Tiny's Aghanim gives him the 3 volley ability, and Keep Up the Light Chakra Magic actually reduces the Tiny's cooldown. So you'll be able to spam your 3 volley, so that's really good. Alright, so Bristleback is possible here, but the problem is the Razor. Razor actually melts Bristleback so hard that it's not funny, so probably not going for a Razor. I mean, not going for a Bristleback. The only thing is that when you have a Bristleback in the game, you sort of force your opponent to go for Razors, right? But Razors is generally not very good in a ranged lineup because Razor is a very niche hero, and you probably want to go for Razor only to counter jumpers, and they don't seem to be much jumpers here except for Bristleback and Spirit Breaker here. The PA also probably, yeah. But there are too many counters here for jumpers like Razor, Grimstroke. As you saw just now, 2 Pangoliers were linked together. So if you're jumping, if you jump more than 2 heroes, they will get linked together by Grimstroke. That's not good. Unless you are doing a Storm Spirit, and Storm Spirit goes into bait spells, and with your PA and Spirit Breaker at the back, they can delay. When they are delayed, they could actually come in and clear the opponent's hero. After that, that's fine. But that's not like I mentioned, that's not a really safe way to play because that strat only works during the 1v1. During the 2v2 stage, as I mentioned, if you are playing jumpers with PA and your teammate is playing backline IO, Skyruff, DK for example, you will be solo jumping into 2 teams, and that's not good because you would die really quickly. If both teams are jumping, that's fine, but if you're the only one jumping, that's not good. Yeah, so Keep Up the Light, Grimstroke, you can go for an IO Beastmaster if you want to. Skyruff Mage is good as well, yes. Normally I'll go for Leshrac because Leshrac is really good against physical carries since you have your Nihilism, which actually turns them into Ethereal form. However, there are plenty of magic carries here that are able to kite you, such as Beastmaster, Lina, Grimstroke, Skyruff, so probably not going for a Leshrac here. Not to mention there's a Pango and Wraith King, and yeah, when they start jumping in, your Leshrac would actually cast his BKB too early. IO Tiny is really good actually, so you can consider that. But my Tiny would probably be an attack free with a Keeper of the Light support. Yeah. One thing to note is that if you're playing Tiny attack free Koto, you probably want to have a Spirit Breaker as well because Tiny can't beat DK since DK has plenty of armor. So you will need a way to actually stop Dragon Knight from attacking or to break his third spell, and you can achieve that by having a Spirit Breaker. But that's during the 1v1 stage. Sky is decent here. Sky is very decent here. But you wouldn't want to take him out so early because there's Pagna and Skyruff Mage ulti costs 640 mana, and Pagna would actually burn you off really quickly with the third spell. So you're forced to go BKB really early. So I don't suggest having Sky so early because there's a partner. You can go for a Grimstroke because Grimstroke spells has very low mana cost. You could disable the second and third spell with just the first spell active and the ulti, so that he will not burn so much HP while trying to cast his spells for damage.
Victory.
Actually, if you want to jump here, I think it's probably possible as well. If you have multiple jumpers at the same time, Razor will not be able to burn you off fast enough. Let's say you have a PA here, PA jumping with a Spirit Breaker and a Storm or something. Yeah, if you have multiple jumpers, it's really hard for Razor to actually burst you down. Not to mention that there is Ark Warden here, so assume that your jumper PA dies, Ark Warden could revive your PA. Yeah, so you need to think about that as well. Yeah, as mentioned, Pango is really good here. Because if the opponent are playing IO Tiny and Tiny is not an attack free build, Pango will jump in and actually bait out both BKBs of Tiny. And then you could actually use your backlane heroes like Skyruff or Lina with a Beastmaster or something to actually kite the Tiny till he dies. You could also use a Spirit Breaker with Assassin Meadow and Arcanic Shard to actually stop the Tiny from attacking. So this game you probably need you need multiple carries. Another thing about jumping is that there's an Enigma here, so Enigma actually is really good to counter jumpers. Because you do not need to get a Blink Dagger, all you need is Aetherless, Agane BKB pressure here on this. And the margin of error for that is way lesser than having an Enigma jumping in. Not to mention, if I'm doing a Pangolier jumper, I would bait out your BKBs for your Enigma. And when that happens, by the time you reach my high ground to ulti, your Enigma has no BKB, so it will easily be cancelled by my backline heroes. Yeah, so Storm and Pango is very important. It's actually key here to winning. You will need either a Storm or a Pango if you're playing backline heroes, so that you can actually bait out their spells. If you're playing jumpers, then Storm and Pango is fine. Yeah, I mean it wouldn't be as crucial to your lineup as compared to a backline heroes lineup. Yeah. Oh wow, this guy has lost much health. Yeah, so you see the issue here. I think what did he do? Yeah, he rushed for level 21 health. Like I said before, this is not a good thing. You see his heroes levels are really low. Brewmaster level 20. Yeah, he does not even have level 25 Brew and Brave King. And as I mentioned, don't go for two tanks early game, because when you have so many tanks, you don't have damage at the back in the back line. If he had a partner instead, that would be way better. And because he rushed for such an early level 20, look at his heroes. They cost 2k, 2k, 2k each, so you're not actually earning money, because even though you're getting 400 gold per round, but you're losing so much money based off the hero cost, because your hero costs too much, just because you roll it very late. So I always advise you to roll for heroes early so they can contribute. This is game 2. Game 2 was remade because there was a crash in the game.
Dire victory.
For Pagna, you need to put Pagna all the way in front, don't put him at the back. If not, his ward would actually be placed too far back and it will not zap the most of the opponent's hero. Put him in front like that so that you place it in the river, and you see most of them will actually get zapped by the wards. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, if there's a DK, Brewmaster will be very good because it forces your opponent to go for MKB on DK. And it's really hard for DK to actually destroy Brewmaster actually, so Brewmaster is still good here. This guy is too greedy. As you can see here, he has DK and Tiny. There's no point in having DK and Tiny at the same time because they both require items, right? And you would probably be only boosting one hero, either Tiny or DK. You can't be boosting both heroes at the same time, so you either choose, do you want DK or do you want Tiny? Not both. Yeah, he needs to put his. I mentioned he needs to put his Pagna in front, but the reason why he's not doing so is because he's doing an Aghanim Scepter on Pagna, but it's just not that good. Pagna as a core is not that good. I would rather you invest in another carry. I'd rather you invest in Storm as compared to investing in Pagna. Yeah, Pagna is a hero who just throws his ward and die. That's how you should perceive Pagna. Yeah. Don't try to build Pagna as a core. It just doesn't work.
Dire victory.
Yeah, this guy is too greedy. Really too greedy. Not to mention he went for Aegis as well, so there's no way he can come back here. Because he wouldn't have enough gold to build his heroes in time. Yeah, you see what happens? If you're going to play Skyra, make sure you have BKB on the Skyra on the sky. If not, it doesn't matter what you have because you just get destroyed by Pagna's Sword. So guys, please take note. If you're playing against a Pagna, make sure that you have BKB. Don't take out Pagna. Don't take out Sky so early. Only take out Sky when you have BKB refresher. Alright, let's look at other players, see how they are doing. This is fine. IODK. He needs a MKB because there's a Brewmaster. Talents are alright. Yep, talents are fine. Storm is fine as well. This is okay. If they go for refresher, it'll be better. Refresher for the double BKB, that'll be way safer. Red King needs an Aeon, this and Arcadim. These two are very important. If not, the DK would actually be in the front line. Needs an Aeon. So this guy is alright. Boom God is alright. Pikachu, this is the Go guy. He suffered a lot of HP loss because, like I mentioned, he rushed for his level 21 L2 early. So, but he can come back. He has a higher chance of winning as compared to Umbelon. Because he has the 400 gold and his heroes are alright, not too greedy. Now, the reason why I mentioned that you don't have two carries on the field is because you need 3 to 4 rounds to actually fully build your carry, right? But if you have 2 carries on the field, the other carry who has no items would not be able to do any damage. So there's no point in doing that. So it's always better to have only take out the carry when you're starting to build it. If not, you could have a magic hero or support that will contribute more to the fight. Always try to time the tomb and the neutral items with the time that you're going to build your carry. So let's say I'm going to build my carry at round 23 or round 21. I can coincide it with the tomb and the neutral item, then that'll be way stronger. There'll be a higher power spike as compared to just building your carry straight up. And heroes, they are really expensive. Let's say you want Tiny and DK. What I'll do is that I would actually just build let's say I'll build a Tiny first because Tiny has a higher AoE damage early game with the Tripoli and Koto. So I'll go for a Tiny first, and since everyone is playing DK, you see it's 2k gold, right? But what I'll do is I'll go for level 1 DK, and then when round 23 comes, my Tiny will be fully built. I could just take out level 1 DK and up him to level 25 with at round 23 with the book, and then continue building DK. By round 25, DK would probably be half built, and he would have a second book for round 30. Yeah. So you need to coincide the timings with your hero item investment as well as the tomb and the neutral item. Wow, the Grimstroke is really strong here. He's just laying the double storm. But if you're going for Tiny, it's good to go for Pirate Head early so that you can get Pirate Head stacks. Pirate Head stacks actually gives you a lot of gold in the long run actually. Yeah, Tino lineup he needs to change the partner because as of now he only has a I don't think he has any proper carries, so that's a problem. See items like this, you need to break it up. If you have a Lotus Orb here, break it up for its parts. And what you can do with the parts, for example, let's say we have a Perseverance. You can do a refresher orb for your Rift King. Do an Aeon this for your Rift King, or even a refresher Aeon for your Storm Spirit. Yeah, that'll be better. Plate Mail you can keep it first and build a Assault Furious later. That'll be really good. One way of fighting Storm here is you could go for heroes like Beastmaster. He has Roar, and then you can go for, you need a Grimstroke, so Beastmaster Grimstroke combo is really good against heroes like Storm and Pango. And you can go for Abyssal Blade as well. Actually, magic build here is quite decent with a Beastmaster, Grimstroke. Go for Ethereal Blades, and see you have Skyrock Mage as well. And it works really well because all three are magic based heroes. Yeah. So one Ethereal Blade, when they are in magic form, they all take so much more damage from magic. It's easier to burst them down that way. As you can see, the Storm Spirit, this is a good build, but he needs Lincolns probably. Yeah, once he has a Lincolns, that he's good to go. That's sad. Where's the Storm? Abyssal Blade somewhere I saw. Yeah, there we go. Beastmaster of Abyssal Blade. Probably a random drop, but yeah, it works really well. So go for Octarine Call on the Beastmaster. That really counters the Storm and the Pango, because it stops them from moving, and it also stops them from TPing. Yeah, so if he's going for a magic build, he needs Skyra. Yeah, he go for a Storm. Okay. His build is alright actually. God Hand. He can go for Skyra here, and build Grim, Skyra, Beastmaster. Yeah, that will be a very good build because he has a Storm to bait. Yep. Yep. So Pirate Head here. The problem with Tiny is that once your BKB ends, you're dead. So you need your IO to actually TP you back home. So your IO needs like Aeon Disc, BKB and Refresher. Aeon Disc so that you don't die so quickly. BKB Refresher so that you do not get silenced or put. Yeah, once your Aeon Disc activates, your BKB will activate for IO as well. And then you'll be safe to actually bring Tiny home to heal. Yeah. And you refresh so that you can do a double BKB and double send home as well. So Tiny lives long enough to do damage. As you can see there, Tiny without the Aeon Disc, he got stunned after the BKB ends and he almost died. You do not want to go for an Aeon Disc as well for Tiny, because Tiny is your only damage, so you want to go for damage items. Yeah, that's why your IO is so important here. You need to go for a Beast Horn here as well for your BKB. You need the armor. IO needs to be put at the back. You can do a follow medal with a Glimmer Cape and a Lincoln so that your Tiny does not get hit. Ark Warden is too early to be building here because now he'll be reviving some random heroes like Wraith King with no items. You only take out Ark Warden in the late game during the 1v1 stage when all your heroes are fully decked out. When your heroes are all have items, then Ark Warden would be useful because you'll be reviving a strong hero instead of a random hero like Wraith King. Yep. Scarab is actually really good here, but you need to make sure that you get a Shivas here. If you don't have a Shivas, a Tiny Toss, Tiny 3 volley or DK splash damage would kill your Sky really fast, and you need an attack blade as well. Yeah. I mean, issue is because he's teaming with this guy. This guy is too greedy, like I mentioned. You see, he's half building his DK and half building his Tiny. You need to focus on one, bro. Don't build both. It's like you're a tiger, right? And if you're chasing two deers in the wilderness, you gotta focus, man. You gotta focus which deer do you want to hunt first. You can't be hunting both deers at the same time, because if you do that, you will lose track of both deers. So you just need to focus on which deer you want to hunt first, and then go for the next one. So this is the same concept. Yeah, you want to be building one, carry one at a time, not both at the same time. Probably need a few Abyssal Blades here and there to stop the storm, because there's no heroes that have instant disables. Probably a Bane, but a Bane isn't really good during this stage, so that's not wise to go for it. Okay, so normally when you have 6 heroes that are useful, and then you might want to rush for level 30. I don't go by round per se, because I think it's too inflexible. So I go based off few. I always rush for level 21 elf, because I need the gold per round, and I always go for 5 to 6 early game heroes, so I do not lose health at all early game, and I'm able to actually safely go up to level 21 without losing health. If I lose too much health, then I probably can't do that. You see, this guy is forced to go for Aegis because he lost too much health. And from level 21, I think to myself, if my heroes are doing enough, can they actually transition well into the mid game with their current items? And is my 6 hero useful? So let's say I have 5 useful heroes and my last hero is DK, for example. I wouldn't rush for level 30, because taking out a DK without items is not that useful. So I will probably finish my first carry before rushing for elf level 25 to get the items. Yeah, but if my 6 hero is a support, like let's say Omni Knight, then it's fine, because Omni Knight is always useful. Then I'll probably go for the items. So it's all about your team composition, how you pick your heroes. If you have too many late game heroes, then it's never wise to go for elf level 30, because that will take too long and you would lose a lot of health if you're unlucky. So that's not a good thing to do. Of course, if you're lucky and you team up with a teammate who can carry you early game, yeah, that's fine. But how lucky can you be every round, right? I think for solo you gotta depend on yourself. So always depend on yourself for solo. And if you have too many late game heroes, don't rush for elf level 30. Don't rush for 30. Yeah, just keep it at 25 and you'll be good. Sometimes if you really want to take out another hero, you can just take out and go for 30-25 if you really feel that that hero is really useful. Because even though you'll be losing 1k gold because of that round, as well as the next round, you will be losing 500 to 1k gold, but you'll be saving your HP. So in a sense, you can see as a trade of trading 1000 gold for 10 to 20 HP. That's how I see it. Yeah, but you gotta make sure that your last hero is actually useful and not just some random hero like a carry or something. Yeah, I'm not playing the tournament because I think I want to give others a chance. So yeah. The new PL, not really had much chance to try the new PL yet, but as of now, I don't think he's really good actually. I think the translation is that there's a bit of a mistranslation in the PL's ability for the ulti. Yeah, but yeah, you can try it out and let me know how it goes. Yeah, I think this guy is fine. He needs a Aeon Disc and a Guardian for his Rip King. And yeah, Storm is good. His Storm is good. Buys a lot of time. So now I just need to build his DK here. Yeah, this lineup is fine. So this guy is okay. Yeah, this one is good as well. BKB, Aganin. So what happens is that he has a dagger on the Rip King. So the Rip King, let's say he's starting here, he will actually jump forward and actually stop the opponent here. And all of them will be gathered here. He has a tiny as well, so that's perfect. Because when you stop the enemy here, they will all be here. Tiny toss will hit them here. Yeah. So that's a good strat to jump your dagger. So yeah, this guy is not glory deity for nothing. Let's see this DK. Since there's not much Brewmaster here, probably don't need a MKB. Yeah, don't really need an MKB since there's not much DK, Brewmaster. This guy is doing the attack free tiny, but he doesn't have any frontliner. Storm is not exactly a proper frontliner. Yeah, so it's not good. That's not good. There's no point in having a boost of travel Ark Warden like that as well, because I don't think you're actually hoping that Ark Warden will cast ulti twice, because his cooldown is actually 52 seconds, so it doesn't matter how many times he TP back home, he's still worthless without his ulti. Yeah, so don't do that. That's a wasted 1.5k gold here. if you really want to ensure that he gets his ulti off, I'd rather you buy a delayer instead of a Ghost of Travel. This guy needs to get his mana off. Okay, so you see how this Wraith King works. The Wraith King will jump forward. As you can see, you jump to the partner. The Tiny would 3 toss 5 units here. Okay, it didn't, but the refresh would actually hit all 5. See, now the 2 teams are clumped up here, so that's actually very good for him. Yeah. I think DK will be way stronger here because Tiny can't actually kill DK because of its armor. There's just too much armor to go through here. That's like 76% physical resist here, and as well DK level 4 dragon has 10% reduced damage as well, if I'm not wrong. That is not displayed here, so it's very hard to take down DK with Tiny. Not to mention Tiny is melee range and DK is like almost 1000 range, right? So 850. Normally you go for a range, you go for a growth bow or ballista with a telescope as well. So I don't think it'd be good to go for a Tiny here. Unless you have jumpers to actually block the DK, and then all of you guys are assassinating medal the DK going to melee range, then it's fine. And there's no Lycan here. There's no Lycan or Centaur, so it's very easy to get kited with a Tiny. If there's a Lycan or a Centaur, you can go for an attack. You can go for assassin medal. Then you will be able to jump the Dragon Knight with max move speed, so you won't be kited. But because there isn't that, Dragon Knight slow is too strong. You have I think 60% movement speed slow, as you can see, with a level 4 dragon. So your Tiny would never reach the DK unless you're playing attack free build. But the problem with attack free build is that he has too much armor, so you can't actually break through DK's HP as well. If I'm playing IODK and you're playing Tiny, I will go for 1 Apex on my DK. My DK will have 8k HP, 7 to 8k HP, so there's no way that you can actually kill my DK as well. Yeah, so you can see there's a delay here for the Ark Warden, but yeah, his front line, and as I mentioned, it's not good to have Ark Warden so early in the game because you'll just be reviving a random hero anyway. Alright, now he does a delay on the Tiny. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Previously there wasn't a delayer. Actually, I way prefer magic build here with Skyra, Beastmaster, and Imstroke. Because with the Ethereal Blade, DK and Tiny won't be able to hit as well. And if you're worried about them dying, there's Dazzle and Ark Warden here. There's even Bane here to actually equip them. Yeah, so for me, I would definitely go for a magic build. Silver Edge is actually quite decent against DKs. You can actually break the DK. Yeah, that's 28 armor that is gone. When you get free items like this, you need to either decide if it's useful for your hero. If not, transfer it to another hero or just break it. As I mentioned before, Lotus Orb, we can break it for AC. Aeon Disc and Refresher, so there's no point keeping a Lotus Orb like that. If you want DK to have a Lotus Orb, just put it on your IO here. He has a slot here, so IO would cast Lotus Orb on DK because he has a follow medal as well. So there's no point in having a Lotus Orb here. You're actually sacrificing so much damage because of this. He could have a Daedalus here. Doesn't have a Daedalus, you see. We have a Daedalus here, and this could be a Nullifier or an Abyssal. Maybe even another Daedalus or something. You just need damage. Yeah. So this could be changed to a nullifier if he wants to. There's no point in having a radiance. Saganim could be eaten as well for another refresher. Pagna is useless here actually, so those with Pagna, if they have better heroes, they should probably switch it out. Well, this is a good item. Quicksilver Amulet is good. Gives you a lot of attack speed for Tiny especially. Alright, so as you can see here, these guys, they do not have enough tank to actually stop the Tiny from walking up. You should probably have minimally Raping with Aeon Agar Refresher at this point here. Yeah. There's no Aeon on this Raping here. Yep, see, there's no Aeon Aghanim Refresher. Storm is good for baiting spells, yes, but you still need a frontline tank who is strong enough to delay your opponent, which they do not have. That's why they lost so much health there. Yep, Apex is very good for DK. Oh, 9k HP, 9k HP DK. But the issue here is that his DK does not have damage. You have 9.4k HP, but you look at your attack speed. Your attack speed is only 283. And you do not have Daedalus. This one can be broken.
Victory.
You need a Daedalus. And no attack speed. That's the issue here. This guy went for Aegis. Normally I wouldn't go for an Aegis, but he has a pirate head, so probably that could offset someone else who has a 400 gold per round talent. Yeah, so that could make up for the lost gold as compared to someone who has, let's say, 400 gold talent. Don't really need an MTB here actually, like I mentioned. Go for Daedalus is way better. And then a Bloodmus and an AC on the IO. If you have an AC here. When you have a Apex like that and you go for a Bloodmus, Bloodmus boosts your base damage by let's see how much. 18%. So let's say you have 300 agility, let's say it's 20%. You have additional 60 damage and life steal as well, so it's really good. And it's an aura as well. You can see how strong the Rape King is here. Without the Rape King there, the Tiny and the DK would have been destroyed by the two DKs. But because he had a Rape King, he delayed his death by a significant amount of time. Yeah. Actually, surprisingly, the Lash here is quite good against DK, but you probably want to be having a delay or teleporter or something so that Lash does not come in too early. Main point is for you to, but there's no Aghanim. The main point is to have an Aghanim so that you could actually stop the DK from attacking, and don't underestimate the power of the Split Earth. Split Earth stun duration is 2 seconds, cooldown is 4.5. So you could have multiple overlapping Split Earth because Split Earth echoes 3 times your 5-second delay when you got Aghanim shot. So you could have 2 or 3 Split Earth going off at the same time. So that's really imba actually. We still did not change his Lotus Orb and Radiance yet. Yeah, as you can see there's a Abyssal Blade here, you can Altering Core, that's good. Reduces the Abyssal Blade cooldown to 9 seconds instead of 12, so that you'll be able to hopefully stun the Storm. Yeah. No, Bane actually is not really good here because you will need too many items for Bane to be useful. So you probably need items like Aghanim, you need Refresher, Aether Lens, BKB, Aeon, and you need Assassin Medal as well. Because if you don't have Assassin Medal, guess who you'll be gripping? You'll be gripping their Rift King, you'll be gripping basically Rift King. You will not be able to grip the Storm. And even if you Assassin Medal the Storm, you will not be able to get him because he just runs too fast. Yeah. And if you have Assassin Medal on their carry, Tiny could have the IO could have a Lotus or Linkers actually to break it, so keep that in mind. And the item investment for Bane just to counter one hero compared to the amount it takes to counter your Bane, it's not worth the goal at all. It's too easy to counter your Bane. Unless during the 1v1 stage, then it's probably fine, but during the 2v2 stage, Bane is really hard to play. Right, you see a ballista, one ballista here, another ballista. Yeah, that's good. Ballista is really good here. Oh. This guy's lineup is good, but the partner is still here. That's a problem. I need to change the partner, and Enigma isn't very good because all these heroes are so tanky. You have one Enigma jumping in, but Enigma can't carry the game. Enigma is more of a control, right? But with all those storms jumping in and Rift King, even when you do a nice black hole, there's no follow up because DK won't necessarily hit the back line. Yeah, you'll probably be back holding the front line, and if you do have an Aghanim shard, you'll probably be able to draw them in, but I don't think you'll be able to burst them down within the black hole. Yeah. If you have a Tiny, you'll be good. Tiny with Enigma is good, but DK with Enigma isn't that good. Sorry, Enigma with DK isn't that good. Yeah. I would prefer Growth Bow actually because I don't think I really need the pushback, and Growth Bow provides attack speed as well, and the attack range from Growth Bow and Ballista is quite similar. I'll probably say I'll go for a Growth Bow, and then if I can I'll roll for a Telescope instead. So this is plus 200 attack range, and how much is Growth Bow? I think it's 150, right, for Growth Bow. Yep, so 150 and 200. The difference is not that much, so you can probably just go for Growth Bow. It gives 150 attack speed as well. Yeah, don't really need a knockback. DK has yeah, probably I don't really need a knockback. So if I get a Growth Bow, I could probably roll my tier 5 for a Telescope. And Telescope gives 150 attack range, so 150 plus 150, that's 300 as compared to a single Ballista which is 200. And because Ballista is tier 5, if you have a Ballista you can't roll for a Telescope. Yeah. But if I have a Growth Bow, I could roll for Telescope. Yeah, Telescope is definitely better because it increases cast range as well. But if you are using Telescope or Ballista, you gotta make sure that you have enough attack speed for your DK. You don't want to have a DK who is like 9k HP with 500 damage but 200 attack speed. So that's kind of pointless. You need to have attack speed for DK to do damage. Yeah, like you see this DK is massive because he has double Daedalus, Dragonlance, Horror Head, Satanic. Change this to an Apex and then he'll be good. Change this to an Apex. And up this to a Hurricane Pipe probably. And also you don't really need a Aghanim Shard for DK because it's quite underwhelming. Yeah, it's only 80 damage per second. Unless you're fighting against TA, then that's good because the damage over time can burn TA's refraction. But other than that, I wouldn't recommend going for Aghanim Shard for DK. Although it's only 1.4k gold, but every amount of gold counts. It's all about resource management. This is really bad. I'm not sure what's happening with this Ark Warden, but yeah, it's really bad. Ark Warden's only purpose in life is to revive someone and then die. I know it's kind of ironic, but yeah, you basically give life to someone else and then you just die. That's your purpose in life. So you don't need so many items. All you need is Aeon Disc Refresher, Delay or Teleporter, Attack Free Shadow Blade, disable this and this. You just want him to cast Magnetic Field and the respawn hero. Magnetic Field is good because it gives evasion bonus 100%, and plenty of DKs here do not have MKB, so that's really good for you. You could even follow Matter or on Ark Warden to follow DK. But not like that, the way it's building. Yep, this is he knows how to play Enigma. As you can see here, he disabled the first 2 spells, and he had a Seer Stone, probably wrote for it. Yep, and an Aether Lens, Refresher, BKB, Aghanim, play on this. This is the perfect item for Enigma. The Shivas, you don't really need the Shivas, but yeah, it's fine. Enigma will be good against Tiny, but I think he's going for Pango as well as he has a Wraith King jumping and a Pango jumping. So what happens is that Enigma will probably Black Hole, Pango and Wraith King together instead of the Tiny. And there's no way for you to use Enigma to Assassin Meddle the Tiny, because when you do that, your Enigma would be solo jumping in. Yeah, and he has a delay on the Tiny, so yeah, your Enigma has to walk a very long distance to Assassin Meddle him. Yep, really don't need the Aghanim here. There's no point. The damage is too low to actually matter. As you can see, the Enigma is just outing some random tanks here, so yep, that's the end of Enigma. It's dead now. Yeah, so one thing to take note is that Enigma is better in those kind of burst team fight kind of heroes. Like if you have PA, Enigma, Earthshaker, then your Enigma will be good. But if you have those heroes that actually thrives on long fights, like maybe DK, then it's probably not that good because you don't have the burst damage to actually kill them during the Enigma's Black Hole. Yeah, if you have a Draw Ranger and you have Enigma, then yeah, that's okay because your Enigma is going to pull them in and your draw can actually kill them, provided they don't have a jumper to actually delay you from delay your Draw Ranger from reaching the front line and attacking them. Yeah, so this, I'm not sure what's with the Aghanim. These two guys need to work on their item builds a bit. Yeah, it's a lot of wasted gold here. Dark Widow, we need to disable the Bedlam, because the Bedlam and the Terrorize share the same cooldown, so during the Bedlam duration you will not be able to cast Terrorize, and Terrorize is the only useful spell to cast other than Shadow Realm, so we need to disable this. And you notice that he does not have any lifesteal here, so that's very bad. You need to get Bloodstone is good actually. As you can see, when you cast Bedlam, this spell is inactive. So you're actually wasting the cooldown of this spell, because this could have been casted 5 seconds earlier. And if this is casted 5 seconds earlier, you could probably use it again right now, but now you see it's still on cooldown. For Dark Willow, you probably want to go for a Spell Prism, so that you could reduce the cooldown further for your second spell. Octane Core, go for Pure Magic, go for a Trident, Octane Core, Force Boots, Hurricane Pike, Spell Prism, or Ballista. Ballista is fine as well. Yeah, you need attack speed, so probably Pirate Head. If you had Pirate Head with your DK, and then you have another Dark Willow, I would suggest putting the Pirate Head onto the Dark Willow, and then your DK could just go for a casual Moonshot or something, right? So yeah, the limitation is because of their base attack time. So most heroes base attack time is not high enough to actually break through the 700 attack speed cap. Even if you give them more attack speed, they will not break through that. So some exceptions are TB, Morphling, they can go for 793. Juggernaut can go for 850. Alchemist can go for 1000. Yeah, so those are some exceptions. And a Morphling who is copying Alchemist's ulti could actually go for even higher. I think 1001 or 1002, I think. I'm not wrong. Yeah, you could try that out. It's not actually really strong at all, but it's just fun to look at how fast he's attacking. Yeah, I really like the Grimstroke's build here, Ethereal Blade, Hex and Abyssal. He has a Aghanim Scepter as well, which is really good actually, because there's a chance that you could create an illusion of the Tiny or the DK, and then that will really hurt. But more likely than not, he will actually be creating an illusion of the Wave King. So, yep. So this guy did a CK support with an Aghanim Scepter. So what happens is that if you follow Meadow and you place your CK close to your DK, CK will actually create illusions of DK here. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing to note. The illusions are really strong because they deal 100% damage and they take 150% damage, but it's okay. If you are going for that, you probably do not want a Desolator. You want a Daedalus because your illusions cannot apply the debuff. So, but they can crit. So if you go for Daedalus, your illusions can actually crit the opponent as well. So if you're going for this, go for Daedalus instead of Desolator, and throw away the heart. Go for maybe another Daedalus or MKB or something. Yeah, another Daedalus will work as well. Or Apex. Apex is always good for DK if you have enough attack speed. This guy has, yeah, he has Ballista and Telescope. Yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream. As you can see, the Enigma does a really good black hole, but what happens? None of them dies because there's no follow-up. As I mentioned, DK is not a very good follow-up damage with Enigma, because when you're black holing, you are actually, the DK is actually hitting their jumpers, right? Like Storm, Wave King or Pango. So you're not actually hitting those units here. Yep. Unless your Enigma is jumping in at the end, like you have a delayer or teleporter at the end, yeah, then it's okay. Or if you're up for it, you can manually control your Enigma during the 1v1 stage and jump in your Enigma only when DK is attacking their carry. Like when your DK is attacking the Tiny or their DK, then that's when you can do a black hole to pull them all in to get hit by the splash damage. Yeah. But you need to know how to control that hero before you do that, because it's really expensive. It's 3k gold, but if you know how to do it, the rewards are really good. So one strat that I use when I'm controlling is that I normally use it to cancel big ultimates. So when there's a silencer in the game, I will take a silencer and I'll control the silencer. Doesn't matter what level, it could be level 10 silencer, doesn't matter. Then there's an Enigma, right? So I will control the silencer, and once the Enigma casts its black hole, I will instantly use my global silence to stop the black hole. Yeah. So that's one way. That's one way of using it. Or you can use it like a Winter Wyvern or a Bat Rider to actually disable the opponent's carry. So this Ark Warden, you have refresher, but you will die before you even cast one ulti. Most of the time, it's dead. He refreshed, but he didn't cast any ulti at all. You see, because firstly he does not have enough defenses. You need an A on this. You need a Shadow Blade attack free. When you get a Shadow Blade and attack free plus an A on this, and you disable all your spells except the ulti, your Ark Warden will keep moving back when the enemies are jumping you, and then you'll be in the safe range as compared to in the front, like you see just now. So you'll be able to cast your ulti safely when one of your allies die. Yeah, you give him a naked refresher like that, he won't do anything. Another thing is that I would like to mention that this guy's positioning is not the best. Hope he doesn't die. Okay, he doesn't die. So if you look at his positioning for CK, this is some really bad positioning, because you know that DK and Tiny has splash. So please do not put your heroes like that. You want to spread them out. So your Storm, you could actually put your Storm here. It doesn't matter, or whatever. You can, and then you want your IO to be, your Dark Willow needs to be here actually. Dark Willow needs to be on the right, so that your CK can be here, your IO can be at the back. So these two supports will be at the back, and you'll still be able to tether your DK, and your CK is still going to be able to ulti your DK from a safe range. When you do this, when the black hole comes, all three will get hit by black hole, all three will get hit by Tiny's Toss, all three will get sucked in by Storm's electric vortex. So this is very bad positioning, don't do that. Okay, this guy, he was in the back lane and he teleported his Ark Warden forward. When you are, before the fight starts, you need to see who you're teaming up with. So let's say for Godhand, for example, his Ark Warden has a teleporter, right? If you are playing in the rear lane and your teammate is in the front, you do not want to teleport your Ark Warden forward. I think he bought a teleporter for his Ark Warden because previously there was a match where his Ark Warden started in the front here, because the opponent chose rear also as well and he had higher HP or something, so he went in front. That's why he got a teleporter to teleport his Ark Warden to the back. But you need to see who you're teaming up with. If you know that you'll be going in the back, remove your teleporter instead. That's why it's safer to have a delayer instead of a teleporter during the 2v2 stage, because you will always be able to delay your heroes. But if you use a teleporter, it might backfire on you, because if you're in the front, you might teleport to the back. Yeah. Alright, so his teleporter works now, so it's fine, but you will need to remove your force boots, because you don't want your Ark Warden to be walking too fast. Disable all your spells except for ulti and this, and give him an Aghanim Shard. Okay, yes, Aghanim Shard, he gives the magic resistance, but you need to disable the first and third Shadow Blade and Aeon Disc. If you don't have an Aeon Disc, you might get killed by Tiny or DK too quickly without even ulting. Yeah. The worst thing that can happen to Ark Warden is dying before he gets off his ulti. Yeah. Alright, so someone was saying about PL's viability, right? So this guy is playing PL. Let's see how his PL does. He doesn't have much items, but yeah. So you see this guy delete all his heroes, and as you can see, what happens is that the Enigma casted 2 ultis on the Wraith King and the Pango Meepo. That's not the best usage. But it's fine, because if his Enigma dies here, okay, never mind. What I was going to say is Enigma dies, his Ark Warden can revive the Enigma to cast another ulti. But his Ark Warden wasn't built correctly, so that couldn't happen. Yeah, this Pango is actually very important here because with Arcane Scepter, you're able to actually there's a higher chance for you to activate your lucky shot, which actually disables the disarms the opponent, so his DK won't be able to attack. I don't think PL is very good here because there is Tiny and DK, and they are both they are both able to either cleave or do splash damage. PL is quite bad against Tiny, but it could work against DK because you're able to continually create illusions. I think the CK here isn't a very good pick here because there are too many spells here that can actually stop the illusions from attacking. There is Pangolia, there is Spirit Breaker, there is Enigma as well. If it's truly up to range versus range wars, then it's good to have a CK because your CK will not be disabled. Yeah, but in this case, I don't think it's really wise to go for a CK. This guy only has one carry, so it's good to have a Spirit Breaker, but the Spirit Breaker needs to have more items. Needs to have more items. Remove this Arcane Scepter, bro, and remove your Majorna and make a BKB for your Spirit Breaker. Remove your Tomb as well and give Spirit Breaker so that you can be a level 30 and teleport your Ark Warden. Yeah, there's quite a few mistakes that are done here. He does not have any shield. Okay, he has a Storm to actually bait out some spells, so that's something that's good. His Spirit Breaker is going in too early, as you can see here. He needs to be teleported all the way at the back. And you need an Assassin Medal to aim the Tiny, so you can stop Tiny from attacking. But they both have the right ideas of using Pango or Storm to actually delay the others lineup. Yeah. Did the Tiny die? I think the Tiny died, right? No, it didn't. Or was it revived? I think it probably didn't die. He needs a Arcane for the Lash actually. I like to point out again that Ark Warden is not really a carry this patch because his ulti does not have it does not create another Ark Warden illusion that can cast items and spells, but instead it revives hero. So that should be his only life motto, which is to revive hero and die. If you really need another carry, build another proper carry. Yeah, do not use Ark Warden as a carry. He has the right idea with the Spirit Breaker, but he needs the book like I mentioned and a teleporter. You see, he's just going to die. So he's going to revive a hero on the spot, which is Spirit Breaker. That's good. That's good. Who's the second hero that's revived? One more hero is going to get revived soon. Yeah, Wraith King. Sorry, bro, Wraith King. One thing that the guy with DK can do is that he can go for an Assassin Medal and aim the Tiny or something, you know. He will not be caught in the Enigma's Black Hole because he has a lot of attack range. He has 1.2k attack range. Yeah, so if he Assassin Medal Tiny, it's fine. I don't think he'll be caught in the Black Hole. He just needs to delay his DK as well, so that his Wraith King and Storm or Spirit Breaker would bait out the Black Hole, and once the 2 black holes are done, his DK would come in. Of course, like I mentioned, he needs a delayer so that he could instantly snipe off the tiny. Yeah. His Enigma doesn't have much item. What's happening? Okay. Is he going to give a... He has 10k go, okay. Going for dagger. Dagger isn't very good. Dagger isn't really good. He needs a refresher, a gunning shot. Yeah, itemization could be way better. Yeah, PL isn't doing anything. Yes, that's correct. Could have gotten a better hero. This is sorry, I just can't stand this Ark Warden build. It's so bad. And the PL needs to transfer items to Enigma. Enigma jumping is so bad. It's not good. It's actually worse than before because if you're actually you're jumping into his black hole. You want to be fighting on your high ground. That would be better. You don't want to be jumping. He shouldn't have jumped his Enigma at all. Because when you jump Enigma, you're creating such a big gap here, right? Your opponent's DK is here. Your Enigma is jumping, so you guys will start the fight here. Your tiny will need to walk such a long distance to actually fight your DK here. Yeah. So he shouldn't have done that. He should have delayed his Enigma instead and actually let his Enigma walk all the way forward. And Black Hole, hopefully by the time the Enigma comes, he would have taken care of taken care of his Pango and Rift King. And his heroes will be in the front, because he delayed his heroes. So why are you letting your Enigma walk forward? It doesn't make sense, because once your tiny jumps into ulti, there's no follow-up. And then your backline are delayed, so during the Black Hole there's no damage. So that's a classic mistake. Yeah, if you want to jump, all you need should be jumping. You don't jump just your Enigma and then your carry is stuck at the backline. Yeah. So you either delay all your heroes and teleport your Enigma at the back so that your Enigma comes in at the perfect timing. Or if you want to jump your Enigma, all your heroes must be jumping, so your tiny must be going in with an assassin medal as well. Yeah. So when you're just jumping your carry or just jumping your Enigma, you have your control but you have no damage. Or the other way goes as well. You have your damage but you have no control. So you need to be careful of how you actually time your heroes' entry into the teamfight. That's very important for the 1v1. That's why sometimes people do teleporter and delayer for their main carry's backline, because they want their tanks to actually absorb the spells, right? He had the correct idea of using the Rift King and Pango and Storm to actually bait out all the spells. But after you do that, that's when you need your Enigma at the back to come in. But because he blinked his Enigma in front, he just died. Or even if you get off your 2 ultis, there's no damage. Yeah. So I think if he had teleported his Enigma at the back, it would have been way better. Might not win, but the outcome would have been way better than that. Yeah. Because he's also at a disadvantage. Tiny versus DK. DK has the range, Tiny doesn't have the range. And there's no hero that provides move speed like Lycan or Centaur. So you get kited if the fight drags for a very long time. Yeah. But other than that, I think this guy's played okay. Good enough. Just some mistakes with the Ark Warden. So I'm going to show you what's the proper build for Ark Warden before the game starts. I think that's really crucial actually. Alright, so if you're playing Ark Warden, you don't need level 30, just level 25 would be good enough. Okay, so you only need your ulti and you need the second spell, and your cap will be left all the way, so you just go like that. Okay, and the items that you need is very simple. Just go for an Aeon, go for a refresher, go for an Aghanim Shard, you go for a Shadow Blade as well. Then you either go for a teleporter here. There's no teleporter here, but yeah, you get the idea. You go for a teleporter, or you go for a follower's medal. So if you're doing a follower's medal, you can follow the let's say this is the DK, right? So you follow the DK, your Ark Warden will be here. you would always be in this form because the only spells for class is Magnetic Field and your Revive Hero. And your Shadow Blade cooldown in Dawn of War I think is like it's really low, like 10 seconds or something. Your second spell has a longer cooldown, so you always be in perma in this form basically. So you just stand back, cast your Magnetic Field and go in this actually. Yeah. And then when there's a hero that dies, you just revive them. And because you have either a follower medal, attack free or teleporter, you always be away from the enemy. If this is the enemy Rift King, Ark Warden will just Shadow Blade and walk backwards. He won't attack, right? And once this is on cooldown, there's nothing for him to cast. So he will just always remain back until a hero dies, and that's when he will cast his ulti. If you're going Shadow Blade, I mean if you're going for attack free, or if you're going for a follower, you always maintain the same distance from the tiny or your DK here. So let's say it's this distance here, you always maintain the same distance here, which is very safe for him. He will cast this on the DK or tiny, and then he will maintain his positioning here. Someone dies, he will ulti. Or if you go for a teleporter, he will always be at the back, and then by the time the fights by the time someone dies, most probably Ark Warden will be able to revive somebody. Even if you're going for a teleporter, I still recommend going for an attack free to be safe. Yeah. Yeah, I think now we're just waiting for the last game because there should be 3 games. Yep, yep. Yeah, you can control the Ark Warden as well if you want to. But I feel like it's safe enough to actually go for it's safe enough to go for Aeon Refresher with a Shadow Blade. Yeah. If there's a Spirit Breaker, you might not necessarily be able to kill Ark Warden because I will disable all my spells except for ulti and I will buy Shadow Blade, right? So and teleporter. So when the fight starts, my Ark Warden will be in Invis form. Your Spirit Breaker does not have vision of Ark Warden for you to actually target him. And Assassin Medal has a range of I think 2.6k or 3k range. So if there's such a big gap, your only chance of sniping Ark Warden with a Spirit Breaker is at the start of the fight, where you're able to see Ark Warden. Because once the fight starts, my Ark Warden will always be in Invis because of Shadow Blade. So that there's no way that you'll be able to snipe off my Ark Warden. Yeah, unless you have a Zeus or if you have a gem on Wraith King, then yeah, that's maybe probable. Yeah. But then again, there's Enigma. There's Enigma in the game, so your SB might get caught. So yeah, but that is a possible counter, which is to jump the Ark Warden if you can. Yeah, normally if you have heroes that has a high damage output like Sylvan or something, there's no point jumping their carry first because they can get revived by Ark Warden. So it's better to kill Ark Warden first with a nullifier and gem like you mentioned. And once you kill Ark Warden, you actually removing 2 lives, right? Because they can't revive their hero anymore. And you have your own Ark Warden, so even if your Spirit Breaker or your carry dies, they will get revived by Ark Warden. Yeah. So always try to kill their snipe off their Ark Warden first. Yeah. It probably might not work in the game, but the idea is right. Yeah. Execution is another thing, I guess. Okay, so I think they are in lobby now. 7 out of 8. We'll just wait for them to start. Yep.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Alright, so I'm back. This is game 3 of the grand finals. Previous game was won by the Platinum Banana guy. The Banana guy won the second game. Alright, so this game I will definitely go for a Phoenix and a Tinker. These two are two of my favorite heroes actually. Phoenix is just really good for the AoE stun that pierces BKB, and Tinker is one of my favorite hero because he has so much magic damage to offer. And late game he can transition to a support with a Follower's Medal and Arcanium Shard as well. So all around Tinker is a really solid hero. Not to mention here there is Underlord and QOP, so it's very hard for you to jump because Phoenix will stun you and your BKB division will be gone, most likely. Even if you are able to reach the back line, the Underlord could actually bring the entire team home. So it's hard to jump here, I think. Early game I'll go for a Tinker, a Phoenix. Tinker Phoenix, Parkna. I would roll for a Brewmaster as well, but I will not take Brewmaster out yet because I think Phoenix is good enough. So probably like a Brewmaster, Phoenix, Tinker. I'll go for an Underlord as well. Ember Spirit I think is fine here as well. Just that he falls off late game because there is a Necrophos and an Underlord that can actually bring them home. There's a lot of sustain basically, so this game is all about long fights and sustain. I think it's going to be like an hour and a half game. So yeah, you guys are going to get food or popcorn or something, you can go get it now. So late game the best lineup would probably be something like Underlord, Queen of Pain, get a Phoenix, a Necrophos. You can have a Lich also. Tinker will be good as a support late game because his damage kind of falls off. You can go for a Skywrath Mage. Skywrath Mage I think has better damage. You want to go for a Lion, I think it's possible, but I don't really like Lion actually because you're essentially trading HP for finger stacks early game. Yeah. And also late game they can actually use a Wraith King to jump an Assassin Medal your Lion, and it's very hard for you to actually take it down. Yeah. Don't forget there's a lone druid here as well. So if you are playing Underlord with back to fountain strategy, you need to have some physical damage, because if you don't have it, lone druid's bear will actually destroy you. Yeah. Your heroes won't be able to cast spells on the lone druid's bear, and the lone druid's bear will actually just beat you down with physical damage. So one way to counter that is by having a Wind Ranger. Probably go for Wind Ranger carry or something, you know. Actually, if you have a Necrophos, I think it will probably be fine because Necrophos would actually heal your team, so the Spirit Bear won't be able to kill you that fast. If you're going to jump, I think there's still a chance that you could do it. If you're going to jump, you probably want heroes like you can go for an Ember Spirit early game, so that Ember Spirit is just really good because he has really high burst damage with the Slide of Fist and the ulti. And you can go for a Night Stalker. You need a Night Stalker if you're going to jump. Night Stalker has a AoE Crippling Fear, which is really good because it forces the opponents to all have BKBs. If not, they get silenced. And if you're going to play an attack free build, most likely your heroes are all spellcasters. So you can go, if you're going to jump, you would probably want a Lone Druid, Night Stalker, Ember Spirit. Yeah. A Star Warrior will be good as well if you're jumping. I still think it's very risky to jump because of Underlord, but if you're going to jump, that's probably the way to do it. With your Phantom Lancer as well. You just gotta make sure that all these heroes jump in together and you're able to burst them down. think it's probably quite even. Jumping and playing an underlord strategy. So underlord strategy, you have a QOP here. QOP, you have a co-op, you have Sky, we have Oracle, we have Trend Protector. So if you're jumping, Trend Protector can actually stop you from moving. Yeah, so it's probably quite even. Although I would favor going for an underlord strategy slightly more than jumping. Yeah, you probably would want a gyro or something as well, so that gyro can kill the lone druid's bear late game. Because like I mentioned, if you don't have a lone druid, if you don't have a physical carry, lone druid's bear would destroy your backline very fast.
Dire victory.
Yeah, let's see how many tinkers we have here. We have one tinker here, two tinkers, three, four. Alright, four tinkers, okay. Gyro is really good actually for early to mid game because he has a lot of burst damage from magic and from physical as well. The only problem comes during the late game is that you will not be able to burst down fast enough because Underlord will bring them home. Yeah, but you still need some physical damage because there's a chance that someone builds a lone druid bear and the bear could wreck you like I mentioned if you're playing all spellcasters with no physical damage. I'm actually surprised that I don't see more Phoenix. See Wraith Kings, Lone Druid, but there are very little Phoenix here. One thing to note is that if you're playing this is the same issue, the same problem as just now. If you're playing a magic hero, like Tinker, who spams spells and has high mana cost, you need a BKB because there's a partner. Yeah, you definitely need a BKB. If not, you would just kill yourself casting spells. Yep, his partners should be all the way up front instead of here. The Night Stalker pick early game is fine because it's quite strong with the Puping Fear. But once they get their momentum going, Night Stalker wouldn't be very useful unless you build him out fully. Yeah, this is not very good, I would say. I mean, Falcon Blade is good for Tinker and Mangoes are good, but the Tinker is not level 25. You normally want at least level 20 so that you have your rearm 1.25 seconds cooldown. If not, the cooldown is too long. So minimally you need to get at least level 20, and for early game just go for you don't need a Falcon Blade so early. because only for long fights you'll be good. And if you're going for Falcon Blade, it's good to combo it with a Bloodstone or a Kaya, because Kaya increases the mana regen as well. One way is you go for a Bloodstone early for Tinker, and then later you can transition that Tinker into a Skyrath Mage. I mean the items. So like I mentioned, you transition Tinker from a core to a support. So your Bloodstone or Tinker will be transferred to a Skyrath Mage. Yeah. And then Tinker can go for boost of travel too, on this Falcon Blade. I don't really need Falcon Blade actually, because whenever it's mana is low, he'll just TP home.
Radiant victory.
Vano, yeah, he's still rolling, never mind. Brood Mother. I think it'll be hard for Brood Mother to rush up heal at this time of the game. I mean, for late game it's hard, but now it's probably fine. Brood Mother is quite strong early game for the spiders. This guy has so many tanks: Brewmaster, Rift King, Phoenix. Phoenix is good, really good. Yeah, there's no point in having a clockwork here actually. I don't think there's a purpose. Because Phoenix is going to egg anyway, and when you do a clockwork like that, you'll be fighting at their high ground, which isn't what you want to do. So as you can see, the enemy heroes are walking forward and they just get destroyed. Because you're starting the fight at their high ground.
Victory.
And the Pagna ward is here, which means that when you guys are fighting here, the wards are going to zap all of you. Queen of Pain should not be taken out so early as well. You should always go for Tinker first, because Tinker spells are very spammable. If Queen of Pain requires too many items to be useful, you need a Guardian Scepter, and even for a Guardian Scepter you can't hit the backline. It's more useful for Queen of Pain when opponents are jumping you. See, once you cast your ulti, you are practically useless. But if you are a Tinker, you could have cast your spells, rearm and cast again. This guy is always rushing for level 20, going for 25 supply, which is very bad because his heroes are so low level. Tinker is only level 10. At least he has a gyro, so that's fine, but always go for hero levels first. His next Tinker is going to be so expensive. Ember and Darkseer, I mean this could work because Darkseer casts the Ion Shell, so I think that could work. Probably need to change his talent. Ion Shell radius, or level 20, never mind. You need to change this to 1.75 nether ward damage per mana. And disable your ulti. The ulti is useless, all you need is this. Rift King needs Reincarnation cast Rift Fire Blast. You need that level 25 talent. Ember Spirit is fine. Need a BKB over the Aghanim and give an Aghanim shard. Probably should have a BKB first instead of Aghanim Scepter. But yeah, the combo of Darkseer and Ember is quite decent early game. No BKB, see? No BKB. And no spell lifesteal. No spell lifesteal. You need your talent should be left, right instead of this. AoE Shadow Strike is not very useful, because you will only be Shadow Striking the frontline units, not the backline units. You need at least you need spell lifesteal, which is better for sustain, unless you have boost of travel or something. Okay, so this guy is a level 25 Tinker, that's very good. I hope he's going for Force Boots here. Is he going for Force Boots? Got hand, need Force Boots on Tinker. That'll be great. Your heroes are, his heroes are actually decent. You need to move your Phoenix in front, change your talent from this to left, 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 right, disable Icarus Dive and Fire Spirits. Because if you're putting a Phoenix as a tank in front, you need the +3 Supernova hit count. Unless you have a Rift King in front or something. And yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so there's a boost of travel here. You need a BKB like I mentioned because there's a Pagna. If not, you would actually be killing yourself really quickly because of the Pagna's ward. There's no point doing this for Tinker because you have no level 25. You have level 25, I'd rather you put your goal into Gyrocopter instead of Tinker like that. There's no point in pumping Tinker like this because your Tinker is not even level 20. You don't have the right talents. You need the much of the damage machine's talent on for level 20. Yeah, so yeah, it's a wrong talent. Needs a level 25. This game Pagna is so important because Pagna counters so many spellcasters here. Pagna counters Pagna counters your Underlord, your Tinker as well. It just hurts so much to actually cast spells when there's another ward up. Yeah, Skyruff needs BKB this game. Oh, another thing is that it's not good to do this. He has a bear in front of the Underlord, but what happens is that Pagna casts his ward, and then you would roll the hero back, which means that you will essentially be walking up to fight them. You'll be fighting into their ward. It's not good. It's better to put your bear behind. So you roll them after they are trapped in the Pitlord's spell. But his lineup is alright. He's pumping yeah, okay, it's Ember Spirit and Tinker. He shouldn't be able to lose so much life. He should be able to sustain to the end with this build. Even for Pagna in front, I mean it's good. Pagna is good, yes, of course, but two problems. Firstly, he picked real lane. There's no point in using Pagna if you are real lane because most of the time Pagna will not be able to cast your ward. Secondly, he does not have a tank, so even if he casts his ward, it's really easy to get destroyed by heroes like you see here. Normally I wouldn't suggest building QOP as like your 6 or 7 hero and not straight up like that. Because you need to have enough tanks in front to keep the fight in front of you, but if they are rushing to your backlines too quickly, that will be a problem for you. Secondly, your QOP does not have enough items yet, so you can't actually solo a team yet.
Radiant victory.
Yeah, as of now, Ember Spirit does a lot of damage, but once they start getting the Underlord Shred up and as well as some Necrophos life heal, so I think it'll be quite hard for for Ember Spirit to actually kill heroes. The way to control heroes manually is when you have level 25, you get a new skill here that says control heroes, and it actually costs $3,000 to actually manually control hero, and you can only work during the 1v1 stage. If you're playing Ember Spirit, you need a Maelstrom somewhere. Maelstrom is really good actually, or even a Madonna if you can. Because Madonna actually lightning actually bounces up to 8 times, I think. 12 times, sorry. Yeah, up to 12 times, and each dealing 180 damage. So that's actually it's a lot of damage. I'm not understanding this build. Trident and Bloodstone. Bloodstone will be enough, don't really need a Trident. You should go for either a Radiant here or a Maelstrom here. And then that will be really good. I'd rather go for an yeah, he needs to eat this and go for an Octarine Core. Octarine Core is very good for Ember. It reduces the cooldown of this even further. If you're playing QOP, you don't really need an attack free medal because QOP will naturally bring back anyway.
Radiant victory.
Yeah, I think this is good. Having a Bishop Blade on a Gyrocopter. Abyssal Blade can stop the Ember Spirit, and once the Ember Spirit is stopped, I think the Gyro has enough burst damage to actually kill the Ember. The Vano, I understand he stopped process on using Vano, basically on the kite heroes, but currently everyone is playing Ember Spirit, so Vano isn't that good in fighting against Ember Spirit here, as you can see here.
Dire victory.
Wow, this Ember Spirit I think has a lot of damage, but probably don't need a Bloodstone. Offering Core I think will be better. You could even change some of the Daedalus for an Octarine Core because although you will have less burst damage, but you will have more sustain in the fight. And the longer you survive in the fight, the more damage you deal.
Dire victory.
Oh, he's out. Brewmaster is very good against Ember, not because of the fact that Brewmaster can 1v1 Ember, but because it's really hard for Ember to actually kill Brewmaster. Yeah, you have multiple splits, so it takes a long time for Ember Spirit to kill Brewmaster. And actually, Broodmother is a good counter for Ember Spirit because if you look at his Aghanim, Aghanim actually roots and mute attack targets. You need a refresher on the gyro there so that you can double BKB, then you wouldn't have died.
Radiant victory.
Oh, this is he's doing the same thing again. I mentioned you don't need to actually. Hangna is just a hero to ulti, just to drop a ward and die. It's unlocked. He has BKB, so he could probably go for an Aghanim and then enable the ulti now. And then that will be good.
Radiant victory.
There's no point in building such a strong Wraith King actually, because so many Ember Spirits could actually just jump to your backline. So you don't really need a Wraith King with a refresher. Maybe a Aeon and Aga is fine. Yeah, but I mean, you can never go wrong with Wraith King. But I just felt that the resources could be better spent elsewhere first, because as of now he doesn't have any counter to Ember Spirit. Sky can't kill Ember until Ember's BKB is up, same as QOP. Gyro needs a BKB, needs a refresher as well as an MKB so that you can kill the Brewlings.
Dire victory.
I think this guy will have issues going on the high grounded game because he has Gyro and Broodmother, but it's quite easy for them to kite, especially if you have heroes like Skyra. Or why is he changing? He should stick to Brew. Brew is better. No, he should stick to Brew. Brew is better than Wraith King. Because Wraith King can get hit by spells, but Brewmaster is essentially not a hero, so they can't target him. Brewmaster is way better if you're fighting against Spellcasters. Oh, there's a PA again. There's a PA here. The PA gets kited too easily actually. So late game is all about long fight. So if someone has heroes like QOP, Scarab Mage, those heroes are the best. With Underlord, of course, and Tinker. Tinker, you need to change him to a support to protect your heroes now. With the Aghanim Shard ability, if you want to disable a spell, you hover over a spell, you hold alternate and you click on it. Alternate plus left click would actually disable the spell. This is a really good item for Skyra, Seer Stone. It's pretty good. He has a Ceremonial Robe, which is better if you put it on Wraith King actually. PA might seem like a good idea, but the thing is that there's so much magic damage that PA will just die really quickly, especially if you have Ethereal Blades. Like you see people are getting Ethereal Blades now, so the PA can't really stand because she has really low HP. And once the BKB runs out, you're very susceptible to death. He's going for Naga Siren. Yes, Naga Siren is alright. It's alright here actually. It's alright. Because there isn't any real way to actually kill Naga Siren's illusion here, so it's good. Okay, there's Ember here, so yeah, Ember is able to kill the illusions really quickly. But you can play Naga as a support with Arcanium Scepter because you're able to root the guy through BKB, and you just need Abyssal Blade, so you stop the guy from moving, and then you can net the Ember Spirit, and then Ember Spirit will stop moving. Yeah, this is good. This is a good build. Just need to get an Octarine Core for Ember Spirit. Shadow Shaman wards are really good as well actually, because when you cast your 2 wards, it acts as a mid shield as well as like a tank. So you can see this guy only has a Lone Druid Bear. He doesn't have a tank, but when Shadow Shaman casts both of his wards, the wards are sort of tank because they require 2 hits to kill, and it summons 20 Serpent wards. So that's 40 hits to actually kill all your Serpent wards. It's a really long time. Especially if you don't have any replicas, you probably will not be able to kill the wards. And not to mention, if you are playing Gyro will spend a lot of time hitting the wards as well, so that will actually buy you a lot of time. Should go for an Arcanic Scepter for Underlord so that your Dark Reef has 2 charges, and also, yes, okay, yeah, there we go, Arcanic Scepter. 2 charges on Underlord, and AoE is way bigger with Arcanic Scepter. Another thing is that instead of having attack free medal, you should up it to a follow medal. So you probably want to follow Skyra, so everyone will be following Skyra. Skyra attack free, the rest are follow medal. Tinker can just leave him there because he has force boots, but you want to follow medal on the Sky, on the Tinker to follow Sky as well, that will be fine as well. Yep, look at the AoE, so big. Yeah, so this is when it gets annoying. You see that you have a gyro, but the gyro is going to get kited and die. because of the QOP. There is a Necropos as well to heal, and yeah, Underlord QOP.
Radiant victory.
I think it's really hard for the group model to win this round, to win this game actually.
Radiant victory.
Pagna can sell already actually. You can sell Pagna for another unit now. Pagna isn't that good now. He has so many items here, he needs to break it down. Put an attack free medal on Shadow Shaman or even a follower. The Darkseer is not that useful anymore because most of the heroes are backline, so unless you have more items on Darkseer like BKB, Refresher, Dagger, then that'll be fine, but it's really hard for Darkseer to actually cast his spells anymore. See, when the Phoenix Egg breaks, your PA is going to get stuck here, and it's really hard to play PA with Phoenix actually. Yeah, PA generally isn't a very good hero here, so
Radiant victory.
nah, this guy can't make it anymore. It's really hard to jump like that, especially when there's a Phoenix around. Yup, don't think you can win this. God hands. Think he could have had a chance, but his HP is too low for him to actually win. Because one bad team fight and he's out, so yeah, I don't think he can win it as well. So the thing is that Underlord, Brute Mother has 50% status resistance, but You can have all the status resistance you want, but you're still going to get bursted down by magic damage here. So the only way where Brood Mother is good is when the opponent is lacking damage. They have a lot of control heroes, like a lot of disables, but they don't have damage. So that's when you can use Brood Mother, because you can't get controlled properly because you have 50% status resistance. And they can't kill you because they have no damage. So that's the best time to use Brood Mother. But when there's so much magic damage going on around here, like Sky, Tinker, just a few Ethereal Blades, your Brood Mother will not be able to stand her ground. I think Boom Gods has a good chance of winning. Yes, his itemization could be better, but yeah, you can see some kind of synergy in this lineup. He chose Real Lane as well, which is good. For his lineup is good. The Vano is a bit early. Yeah, Vano is still a bit early. It's better if you go for Necrophos to heal, but it's okay. He's losing a lot here because, like I mentioned, you want both teams to be jumping or both teams to be at the back. But because his teammate is jumping and he's in the back line, so yeah, probably lose quite a lot here. Shrine Protector. Shrine Protector normally is a very good hero. Shrine is his only use is to disable the opponent, overgrowth. He could do a jumping trend, but then again, as I mentioned, not enough damage. Amber can go in, and Gyro is still stuck in the back line unless you Assassin Medal the Gyro. Then I think they'll be fine. But if there's a Necro and there's an Underlord, it's still tough to actually fight into it. Every team needs a Necrophos here actually, so that you can heal past the Ember Spirit. Nice, nice. Oh, Monkey King support? No, it's not support. Monkey King is quite decent because his ulti spell is Divine Sanction. It has 70% spell damage reduction, but the range is quite huge. So as long as they are in that range, their magic damage are reduced quite a lot. So you could actually use Monkey King to jump in actually, and that will reduce the damage output by a lot. But that's provided you don't get kited, because if you get kited, then your ulti wouldn't be contributing much. So I think Boom God has a good chance of winning. Yeah, Wind Ranger support should go for a Guardian Shard. A Guardian Shard is very good. This Shadow Shaman, he needs a attack free medal so badly, so he can run back. If not, he'll be stuck in the front and he will just die. Needs an Aeon Disc as well, so he can survive long enough. The Darkseer is really very bad here. Oh, 1v1 stage. Yeah, I think Boom God probably has a nice chance of winning. One, two, three, four, five. Five Necrobook. Why? Why so many Necrobook? Why? Why? There's no point, he has a gyro here. I think he's able to win with so many Necrobooks. Each Necrobook is 5k, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25k go on Necrobooks. If you have the tier 3 item, that's way better, but Necrobook on its own is not good. No Abyssal Blade, no Abyssal Blade. Oh. Yeah, I really don't think the Broodmother can beat this shred. We're just going to get kited. It's going to send them home like multiple times. 2 times. Then he's going to die to yeah, he has a Skyra, so he's going to die to Skyra. QP. What's the tier 5? Oh, yeah. Underlord ulti, yep, go home. There we go. Tinker does not have boost of travel. Book Mother Assassin Medal. That's bad, that's bad. Yeah, you just get kited. Your gyro can't even reach the high ground because of this. And because there's such a big gap between your backline and their front line, the Brook Mother, if he's going to do an assassin medal, he's going to dive into the backline solo. He's going to die. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with this Necro Book. It needs a Ethereal Blade. Ethereal Blade. Yeah, Boom God definitely got this, I think. I don't think the other two can have a chance. Definitely not this guy. Night Stalker is definitely going to die really quickly. Darkseer as well. Shadow Shaman, no BKB, no attack free. Yep, it's dead. This guy is dead. No A on this. Gyro can't fight. Gyro can't fight up. Can't fight up here as well into this kind of fighting lineup. So it's going to be Glory Deity versus Imperial 1 for the finals. Final match, and Boom God is going to take it. No, why does Queen of Pain not have enough mana? Queen of Pain does not have enough mana. Alright. God versus Glory Deity. Let's go. Peace lineup is alright, but just a few mistakes. He needs follow medal instead of attack free medal. When you have attack free medal, heroes walk forward walk backwards based off their cast range. But if you do a follow medal, they would actually move based off the positioning to the hero. So let's say if this was a follow medal, Underlord will always be beside Tinker, and Shadow Shaman will always be beside Tinker as well. I mean, 2 squares away from Tinker. Based off your positioning here. Oh. I don't think there's enough time for him to come back. He needs to kill at least 2 heroes. No, that's not good. Yup, GG. I think it's GG. GG. Well played, well played. Yep, so best shot here is still the Underlord Sky, QOP Tinker. That's still the best. It's hard to jump into that. I'm just surprised that there isn't as many Phoenix here. Phoenix would be good. Because when you send home heroes with Underlord, your Wraith King will be stuck behind. But Phoenix would have used his 2 weeks, so it's fine if he dies. Yeah. Alright, so that's the end of the 3 games. Yeah, we're going to look at the point tallies. Good game, well played to all the players. Definitely a hard fought battle. 3 games. Second game was restarted, so it's definitely quite challenging and tiring for the players as well. Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate them playing. It was fun. It was fun to cast and watch as well. Let me see if I can find the tally. If there's the tally for the final score anywhere. Alright, so the winner is okay, so we have the winner. The winner is let me open up. Alright, not this. I wasn't playing. But alright, so based off 3 games, the winner is Banana Guy. Let me just take a screenshot. Give me a second, so I can take a screenshot and actually post it here. You guys. Alright, 1 second, 1 second. Scoreboard. Okay. Scoreboard. Just add an image here. Image. Okay. Browse. Desktop. Scoreboard. Yeah. Okay. So you guys can see this is the final scoreboard. So congrats to the winner. The winner is Banana Shake. Yeah, Banana Shake's the winner. Second place is I can't pronounce his name. The Thai guy, I think. And we have a draw for third and fourth, so we have 2 third places. I think the second guy, the Chinese name guy, and the Boom God. So yeah, congrats to the winners, and yeah, good game, well played, guys. Alright, so I'm a bit tired now. I'm going to go off. Thanks for watching, everyone. And if you have any questions, you can leave your questions in the comments. Alright, that's the end for today. GG. Bye bye.